If you own a home in Texas and you're not protesting your property taxes every year, you're leaving money on the table, period. And I see this all the time, especially with homeowners who've lived in their house for a long period of time. They've got a homestead exemption and sometimes even a senior exemption, and their taxes are so low that they think, I don't need to protest. But here's what actually happens. Over time, their tax valuation keeps creeping up, and it can get completely out of sync with the real market. And then when they go to sell, that high tax value can make buyers take pause, because now the buyer is thinking, am I going to be able to get the county to bring this value down to what I'm paying, or am I stuck starting way higher? And here's why this matters. When you combine a homestead exemption with protesting your value, you're helping control how fast your taxes can rise. In Texas, that increase is capped at 10% per year, but that only helps if your starting number is accurate. If your value is too high, you're locking in higher taxes year over year. And it can also give you a false sense of what your home is actually worth, because you're not adjusting that value to match the market year over year. So let me give you a real world example from one of my seller clients from last spring. They were getting ready to list their home, and based on the market, we felt $599,000 was the right list price. At the same time, they were protesting their tax valuation, and the county initially came back at $726,000, which made 0 sense based on the actual market. And after the first protest hearing, they lowered it to $710,000 and basically told my client, take it or leave it. This was still too high. My client was even starting to question my advice on our listing price, but I asked him, what reason would the county have to overvalue your property? Of course, they make more money. The county doesn't have a dog in the fight when it comes to actually selling your home. So what happened? We listed at $599,000. We got 6 offers in 4 days, and we sold at $625,000. Then the buyer's lender completed an appraisal. We asked for a copy and submitted it to the county at his final protest hearing. And just like that, they dropped the value to $625,000. That's almost $100,000 less than where they started. So how do you actually protest? You have 3 options. You can ask an agent that you know to pull comps of comparable sales, and you can take that evidence to a hearing. You can hire a tax protest company. They'll handle it for you, but they charge fees, sometimes a percentage of what they save you. Or, and here's the thing we fell into, you can hire an appraiser. And that's what I'm seeing works best right now, based on this evidence from last year. Take that with you to a hearing. I think it's very hard for the county to argue with an independent third-party valuation. A quick timeline to keep in mind, your value is based on January 1st condition, and notices arrive in April, early May. The protest deadline is typically May 15th. Don't just accept your property tax value. Let the market speak to us, not the county. If you want comps, you want to know what your valuation, what evidence you can provide. If you would like the name of tax protest companies, or you would like the name of some appraisers, I am available to give you all of those resources. Just reach out and let me know what direction you'd like to take. Thanks so much, guys. Good luck.